Welcome students of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Welcome to Biology, the study of life, the study of each and every living organism existing on this planet. So today, let us start with the living world. Myself Anamika Paliwal and I'm your biology teacher. So today, let us start with the first chapter, that is the living world, with the part 1 of the chapter. What is biology? What does actually biology means? The word biology, what does it indicate? So the biology, it is a term which is derived from the Greek word that is bios means life and logia means study of. That shows that biology is the study of life and living organisms. So bio it indicates life and logia is the study of. So biology is the study of life and the living organisms. We know that biology is the study of life. But what is life? How can you define life? Life, it can be defined as the property or quality of the living organisms that distinguishes from dead or non-living in some functions like growth, metabolism, responsiveness to stimuli, and reproduction. So, how can you differentiate a person living or a person dead? So obviously the person living, it shows the functions like the growth, metabolism, response to stimuli and reproduction. Whereas the dead, they won't show any of these functions of growth, metabolism, response to stimuli and reproduction. So life, it is the property or quality of the living organisms that distinguishes from dead or non-living in the following functions. So that is called as life. That is the way how you can define a life, a living organism. What are the functions or what are the qualities which a living organism is showing? So in that way you can define life. The qualities or the characteristics of living things, what are those? They are growth. All the living organisms, they show growth. All the living organisms, they reproduce. So second is the reproduction. Next is metabolism. This is one of the major characteristics of the living organisms. And fourth is responsiveness to stimuli. Here, each and every living organisms, they respond to their external environment in some or the other way. So that is the way how they respond is the response to stimuli. So these are the main four characteristics of living things: growth, reproduction, metabolism, and response to stimuli, which you need to study. Among the four characteristics which we have studied, first comes the growth. Now, growth is an important characteristics feature of living beings. They increase in mass and number. We grow by our height, we grow by our weight, so that's how the growth is. Non-living objects also grow in mass by accumulation of materials on its surface. Growth in a living being takes place due to internal process that is called the cell division. So growth in living beings, it takes place due to internal processes that is cell division. Plant shows continuous growth throughout their lifespan while animals show growth up to a certain age. So there's a difference between the growth in the plant as well as the growth in the animals. So the plants, they show continuous growth throughout their lifespan while animals, they show growth up to a certain age itself. We grow up till a certain age. So the growth is an important characteristics. It increase in mass and number. Non-living object, they also grow in mass by accumulation of material on the surface. When actually this material it gets accumulated on the surface of a non-living object, they also grow in the mass, but that is not called the actual growth. Actual growth is like internal process, that is the process of the cell division. That words define the growth. Among the four characteristics which we have been studying about the living things, next comes the reproduction. So all living beings produce their offspring by the process of reproduction. Reproduction is an important process for continuity of the life and to maintain the lineage of a species. To maintain the continuity and the lineage of a species, reproduction is very important. So reproduction, it can be of two types: sexual and asexual mode of reproduction. So reproduction, it is the main characteristics in all living beings. by which they produce their offspring. And reproduction is important to process the continuity and the lineage of the species. We have studied that reproduction is of two types, sexual and asexual. So the fungi, they reproduce by asexual spores, yeast and hydra by budding, planaria, these are the flat forms, they reproduce by regeneration. Unicellular organisms like bacteria, algae, amoeba reproduction is synonymous with growth, that is increase in number of cells. So these are all the asexual mode of reproduction which we can see in fungi, yeast, flatworms, unicellular organisms like bacteria, amoeba. So here is just they reproduce with the help of spores or by budding, by regeneration, or by just the increase in the number of cells. So these are the various examples of asexual mode of reproduction. After studying about the two characteristics, that is the growth and reproduction, next comes the metabolism. So what is metabolism? All living organisms are made up of chemicals which belong to various class, size and functions. So the chemicals within a living organisms are constantly being made and changed into some other biomolecules. And the sum total of all chemical reactions occurring in our body is called metabolism. So this is very important which you need to make a note of it. So the sum total of all the chemical reactions which is occurring in our body is called metabolism. All the living organisms, they are made up of chemicals. Obviously our cells, each and every part, our body, ultimately whatever we eat is it is converted into amino acids, fats, sugars. So all these are, they have various, they belong to various group of chemicals. Now these chemicals within the living organisms are constantly being made and they changed into some other biomolecule which is again helping the body to carry out the function, to carry out the cycles of the body. So actually the sum total of all the chemical reactions which is occurring in our body, that is called as metabolism. Metabolism can be differentiated into two types. Number one, anabolism. Number two, catabolism. So no non-living object exhibits metabolism. Obviously the living organisms, they exhibits metabolism, and obviously the non-living organisms, it doesn't exhibit metabolism. And metabolism are of two types, anabolism and catabolism, which we will be studying about in detail in our later chapters. Among the four characteristics, after studying about growth, reproduction and metabolism, the last and the important one is the responsiveness to stimuli. So the living organisms, they respond to their surroundings or environment. Obviously, we respond to our environment. Respond to our environment stimuli could be physical, chemical or biological. This respond, obviously it can be physical, like we sweat a lot in during the summer. So that is one of the response. Chemical or biological. So plants, they respond to external factors like light, water, temperature and other organisms or pollutants, etc. So the plants, they respond to the light. For example, the sunflower, it actually moves in the direction of the sun. Water, temperature, plants, they behave according to the temperature of the environment, when they have to, when they wilt it down and when they actually flower. So that also depends on the temperature and other organisms which are around the plant. So like the, if you can see if we are talking about the insect eater, so they, what they do, if the insects are around them, they just grab it. So that is one of the response. So organisms can sense and respond to environmental cues. Photoperiod affects reproduction in seasonal breeders, both plants and animals. Organisms handle chemicals entering their bodies and are aware of their surrounding. Human being is the only organisms which has self-consciousness. Actually, we are blessed with this self-consciousness because we can control our behavior, but the plants, they cannot control their behavior. It is just, it depends on the external environment totally. So that is how each and every living organisms, they respond to their external environment, and that is responsiveness to stimuli. Biodiversity. If we are breaking this word, bio means the living and diversity means variety. So the diverse form of organisms which are present on the earth is called biodiversity. Nomenclature. Nomenclature is a system of naming a plant or an animal. So it is a system of naming of organisms. Now there are millions of plants and animals in the world. Plant and animals are known in the local area by their local names. But these local names are they vary from place to place, region to region, and within country also. So it is impossible for any person to remember the names of an organism in all languages. Hence there is a need for a uniform system of nomenclature of organisms. Now here we call a plant in a state by different name, and the next state it is called by a different name. So there comes a variations in the names. So for that we require a standard name, what we call a standard botanical name for various plant and animal. So that's why we need uniformity in the naming, and for that reason the nomenclature has been introduced. So let us study about nomenclature. Identification. Now, identification is the process of assigning a pre-existing taxon name to an individual organisms. For example, ICBN, it stands for International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. ICZN is International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. So, under ICBN and ICZN, the different botanical names or zoological names are given to respective plant and animal species. So we will be studying about it in the next part of the chapter. I hope you all must have understood the first part of the chapter. I want you all to just go through this part of the chapter. Thank you.